Hello, my name's Brooke.
And I'm Rylie, and today we're going to be talking about the stigmatism surrounding men's mental health.
I feel as if men need to take in consideration for their mental health a lot more, and especially in this modern day. I feel as if men need to approach their feelings and need to seek help if needed. What do you think about that?
We definitely need to make it more acceptable for men to seek mental health care. And because a lot of times we see so many more women going to therapy and taking medication and stuff for their mental health. But we just don't really see it as much with men, and we really should.
And honestly, that can go both ways for physical or mental health, because usually men tend to feel as if their physical or mental health doesn't really matter because they should man up. And honestly, that can come from trauma at a young age too, because usually parents and family dynamics always tell their boys or their kids just to man up and just to walk it off. And honestly, that can affect them really badly in the future and can make them feel as if they need more help seeking out their feelings because they can't really do that because they feel as if they look vulnerable or weak because they were taught at such a young age to just man up and deal with it yourself when they really shouldn't.
And I think because of that, we oftentimes see guys treating therapy and stuff as an admission of weakness, which it's really not. It's really just admitting that that there is a problem. And sometimes people go to therapy just because they think that they want someone to talk to. Not everyone goes to therapy because something is wrong.
And honestly, that can also affect friendships as well because they feel as if, like you said, they don't feel like they have anyone to talk to because they feel as if they can't talk to their friends because they feel like they'll get laughed at or seen as weak in their field. And especially if you're in a more dominant field. You feel as if you can't really talk or anything because you have to seem like you can deal with your own crap.
Yeah.
And really, that just affects them really badly because they put on a mask that they're happy, but really they're not. And honestly, that can make them, well, most of the time, people don't really act upon that until it's too late.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And another thing is with romantic relationships, a lot of times we see we see women being oh, well, I don't want my boyfriend to cry in front of me because that means he's weak and he's not a man. But to me, it seems more they feel comfortable with you, expressing their emotions, and they feel like you will be able to help them through.
Yeah. Most of the time, I feel as if you're talking to your partner about your feelings, they can use it against you.
Yeah.
Especially for men. And I feel as if that makes them feel as if their feelings don't matter. And honestly, that can make them a lot worse. And also, if you haven't noticed, there's a really big uptick in suicides nowadays.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like we should definitely take into consideration about that topic.
Male suicides make up most of the suicides nowadays, which we definitely need to look more into.
Especially in 2020.
Yeah.
Those rates.
I think the rates in 2020 was 19% female and 69% male in people above the age of 18, I think.
And especially men in their 30s. Usually when they divorce, they feel as if they can't seek help. And honestly, that puts them into a really tough area and a deep hole whenever they get broken up with or divorced. And usually the wife, most of the time, takes the kids with them. And usually the men want to look happy in front of the kids.
Yeah. But a lot of times after a divorce, as you said, they don't go and they don't go seek help. And so they'll just kind of fester with all these emotions, and they'll start thinking oh, maybe my kid is better off just without me. And I feel like that is the main reason we see the uptick in suicides in men 30 and above.
And sometimes men's mental health can get so bad to where they feel like their only escape is suicide and killing themselves because they feel as if there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And that can really put them into a deep hole and just get stuck. And they can't go to therapy like we were talking about earlier because they feel like it'll just make them weak. And that just puts them through a loop.
Yeah.
And then no one really acts upon that as much.
Yeah, and I definitely feel like we also a lot of times don't really people just won't notice a lot of times if someone is going like through something, which I feel like a lot of people could be better at.
Also, let's not forget about rape though.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to talk about that topic because honestly, I feel as if that isn't justified as much for like men. It's not justifying for men, but it is for women.
Yeah.
Because usually men are looked upon as more dominant, and I feel as if that puts men into a deep hole where they can't get out of because they feel as if like no one hears them out no matter what they do.
Yeah. And we definitely see like a lot of times like with male rape victims, like they'll be told like a woman was able to do that to you, like or like someone was able to do that to you, like
exactly.
you're a man, like how would you let someone do that to you?
Exactly.
But it's like that's not what's happening, and it should be more acceptable for men to come out with their experiences and be like, yes, I am a victim of this.
And I feel as if social media has definitely took a turn for men nowadays.
Yeah.
And all of that because men are seen as more dominant and people don't really like social media will make lies about them and they get spread around that they were the rapists, especially in young kids nowadays. And that can really put a deep hole into their mind and feel as if suicide is their only way out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think just overall mental health should be a more talked about topic just in general with everyone, to be honest.
That you are communicating with them and that they are for sure well in their well-being and mental health. Goodbye. Have a good day.